questions? And
The exercise you told us at your like speech. I don't know how, but is it helpful for stress? Helpful for stress taking off?
is it help? What helps?
Is it helpful for stress?
Stress?
Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
Oh.
That's one of the things that we very much it's helpful for stress. It combats stress. It combats stress hormone. All the changes that your brain and your body make with exercise, you help deal with stress. And you deal with stress immediately, but also long term, because you build up a janitorial service in your cells to help deal with stress later in your life.
What should I do if I feel like I don't have the time to exercise?
Well, you make time by planning it. By when you get up in the morning, that's the best time. Get a jump rope. That is a huge exercise, by the way. Jump rope. You can do it for 10 minutes, and it'll get you started for the day. And it's a great way to begin the day. And take it along with you, because you can use it throughout the day as well.
그 운동을 하고 나면 되게 졸린데 그렇게 졸린 상황에서 제가 그런 비슷한 효과를 낼 수도 있을까요?
Well, but if you do exercise regularly, you won't get sleepy. You'll wake you up. You know, it'll wake you up, but you have to get fit to the point where doesn't cause you to sleep, although that's a good thing to do, is to get enough sleep and stop listening to BTS all the time.
A lot of experiments that you talked about, it involved rats instead of humans. So how can you tell if it has the same effect on humans that it has on rats?
Well, we've seen it, okay, using scans. We see the changes over time. Now, 7 days and 10 days for the mice is about like years for humans, because their life goes so quickly. So when we know that with humans we have the same finding, that is that their brains are bigger than the comparative folks, people who didn't exercise. Okay, and they are much smarter. And we have all this evidence throughout the years showing that that exercise makes people more apt to understand, remember, and think about things.
So I totally agree with you. The fact that exercising can get rid of stress, and the fact that it can get rid of depression. But the thing is, Korea is such a society that is obsessed with academic achievements. So how can we apply your idea to our society right now?
Could you repeat the last part of your question? How can we assess?
So how can we apply your idea, the idea that exercising can help you learn? How can we apply that idea to our society?
Well, in Korea, yes. Well, when is it? Tuesday, I'm speaking with the Minister of Education while I'm here. So, and I met him 10 years ago when I was here as well. So the hope, and he understood that having exercise in the school day was very useful. And my hope is that will continue, and that we will get some changes in China, in Taiwan, where I've been. And they've added more time for exercise, and they did initially with Minister Lee, I guess 9 years ago. He was adding another time in the day for people to exercise. and play and do sport, which is really the beginning of a big change. And yes, you have, everybody's worried, oh, you're not going to spend as much time studying. Well, think about it. What if your brain is working better, if you're more motivated, you're more interested because you've exercised and you got your brain ready and your body, and you actually had fun, you're going to be a better learner. And that's what we can say. You know, it doesn't make you smarter, but it makes you a better learner.
What kind of exercise do you prefer?
This morning I was at the gym for an hour. I play pickleball. I hike. My wife and I, we're living in Hawaii now for a good part of the year, and we average about 15,000 steps a day outside. So moving in space, having fun. We do Zumba. You know Zumba? Oh my God, I'm not very good at it. My wife is very good. We do it with, there are about 40 Asian women who do Zumba in the park outside under the banyan trees 4 days a week. They have one day, Friday, where the teacher goes very slow and breaks it down. That's when I go, because I'm not very coordinated. So, but I have fun, and I should have brought pictures of our Zumba group. But, and this, by the way, led to a lot of connection. So we have potlucks, dinners, where we have 40 or 50 people bringing different dishes from all over, because Hawaii is a melting pot still, especially Asian, lots of Japanese, Philippine, Chinese, Korean, Guam, Taiwan, everybody's there. And so they bring all these dishes, and it's great. And but we get to know them, we're friends with them, and it's just a great time. But that's what something like exercise can do. You know, one of the big exercises these days is pickleball.
What exercise has the best effect for studying?
What exercise? Something that you will do. Something that you'll do is the real answer. Whether it's you jump down and you do push-ups, or you do jumping jacks, or you do the squat that we did to begin with, jump rope, just to get your brain activated.
Okay.
You know, and I think jump rope is one of the best exercises you can do in a pinch when you don't have time or you don't feel you have time. So that you want your brain turned on.
Yeah. 한 번 운동할 때 얼마나 하는 게 좋아요?
Oh, ideal duration. That varies. It varies on the intensity of your exercise. But I'll tell you, even 10 minutes is good. But we like to look at 20 minutes as an exercise period. If you're playing a game or something, I mean, even if you're doing video games but have them moving, you know, in space, even 10 minutes of that could really get your brain activated.
You told us that doing exercise is good for your brain. So how do you think that if Korean society can, we should make PE clubs ordinary in school curriculum, then how do you think about this opinion?
Could you say it again? I didn't. You get too excited giving the question.
How do you think about we should make PE clubs mandatory in school curriculum?
Oh, yes. I think it should be mandatory. It should be mandatory, and I think the schools have done a disservice to not to make it as an elective, but mandatory would be great. That's what the school that I mentioned, Naperville, they had PE every day. At least 4 days a week they were running and getting there and playing vigorous games. But you can do it in 10 minutes and 20 minutes every day.
Some parents will think the last year of high school is important. Who is preparing for
The boards.
university entrance exam, and what do you think about
Well,
do they have to
well, it's a good
exercise
question.
more, or just study and have shorter exercise time than other ordinary children?
No, that's a very good question. I mean, I showed you Harvard students, right? They do a lot of study and they take a lot of tests, and they are pushing them to exercise right before their test, much like brain fitness program is going to be. Right before you go in to learn Dr. An and others' wisdom, you'll be exercising, so it'll make you a better learner then. And for during your senior year, which is so critical for you, it will help reduce your anxiety and your stress and help you be more positive about the experience. Okay, I think that's it for the books. And that's it for the questions. And thank you very much.